excuse me.
No. At one point, you're saying that these don't apply to you because of your sovereignship, but then you cite a court rule that's saying exactly the opposite. I see that in your pleading. Wait a minute. Just let me listen. But all this other stuff that you filed, I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I have no clue.
Well, and the alleged laws that you quote, and where's the corpus delicti? Because you can't injure a corporation state. You can't injure. And I got your Duns and Bradstreet number.
Yes, you can. Listen.
The sovereign citizen is facing jail time for driving with possession of coke and breaking into somebody's house. Then he tells the judge he lives there because he's a sovereign citizen of the land. I'm not kidding, he really sat there and tried to argue that laws don't apply to him, just because he read something on the internet once. What makes this whole thing worse is that he is dead serious too. Like full commitment, straight face, no doubt in this dude's mind that he's right, and that the entire legal system is wrong. Judge Perkins though, he keeps it together, but you could just tell he's thinking, why am I wasting oxygen on this? Let me know in the comments how dumb you think this guy is from a scale of 1 to 10. Let's go ahead and dive in here and watch this clown sovereign citizen get shut down by Judge Perkins.
I don't think that you're gonna entertain any offer from the city. I will say that the offer is pleading to 1 count of disorderly conduct, and I'll find you $200.
I'm not contracted. I'm not gonna contract with the city.
Let me finish what I have to do. Let me finish what I have to do, okay? As far as the procedure is concerned, this is
okay. Excuse me.
No. Let me finish, and I'll answer your question. We're here on an arraignment for Mr. Reginald Linton L. On 1 count, entering without permission. That's entering dwelling without permission. That is ticket number U613222121. Complaint number U613222121. The maximum possible penalty for that is 90 days in jail and or $500 in fine if you're found guilty of that. We're also here on complaint number U6132221 in violation of 38-11-2 of the City of Detroit Municipal Code. The other violation is 314-1 of the Municipal Code for the entering out permission. And then the possession of cocaine is in violation of 38-11-2. Both of them are punishable by maximum possible penalty of 90 days in jail and or $500 in fines. I'm going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, sir, and I'll set a $0 personal. I'm going to set a $0 personal bond. Do you want Ms. Hatcher to represent you, Mr. Linton L?
No.
All right. State your name for the record, sir.
I'm not here to contract with you. I'm just here as a meeting of the minds to get this case dismissed because there's no corpus delicti, and I'm not a state, federal, corporate entity, ins leges, if you will. So my documents speak for themselves. And
well, that's what I was talking
then
about.
There's the matter.
That's what I was
there's
talking
the
about.
Matter. Right. There's the matter of infringement.
All right. Are you done?
Oh, proceed.
Yeah, you said your documents speak for themselves, and that's what I was talking about. I spent the morning, part of the morning, reading all the documents that you provided, sir. And like I say, from what I can gather and from what I know about cases like this, you're trying to say that you're sovereign. The Constitution doesn't allow the city of Detroit or the state of Michigan to be able to police their streets and protect the health, safety, and welfare of their citizens, and that the laws that are codified under the state of Michigan and the city of Detroit do not apply to you. Is that correct?
Well, the thing of it is, as it states here, if you read the document, as it states, I haven't harmed anyone. There's no corpus delicti. My going to visit someone.
It is a corpus delicti.
Where's the corpus delicti?
They indicate that you have crack cocaine on you in the city of Detroit. And the last time I checked, crack cocaine is not legal to have in the city of Detroit. There's no doctor that's going to be able to give you a prescription for it. And this is the allegation that they made. Now, I'll tell you this. Well, I don't see any. Okay.
No, go ahead.
I like how the sovereign citizen lets him talk like the judge is finally making a good point. Like, yeah, jurisdiction is fake, driving laws don't apply to me, but okay, fine, the crack thing, that one's kind of fair. It's like watching somebody argue that gravity's a myth, but then admit the floor does feel kind of solid today. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like these courtroom wannabe philosophers always crumble the second a real charge hits, like drugs, assault, or tax evasion. They go from, I am not a corporate entity, to okay, but can I get time served? And the wildest part is sovereign citizens always say they don't recognize the court's authority until they think the court is winning. Then it's suddenly, Your Honor this, and motion to dismiss that. It's pretty hilarious. I mean, the truth is, once you're in that courtroom, the Constitution isn't gonna morph into a get out of jail free card just because you read a blog post. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Do you guys think crack possession is covered under maritime law or not?
Okay, I'll tell you this. One thing I will acknowledge, I will acknowledge that as for the EWOP ticket, he did state in his pleadings that he was allowed to come in this house. He was invited in this house, and the house was fully furnished, and he was invited. So I don't know. I do have some question about that. I also have some,
That's what trials are for.
Yeah, that's what trials are for, and he's made that. He's at least made that case and asked for the crack cocaine ticket. I don't know. Is there any way to determine that it was actually crack cocaine? So, those are issues that I have with the case. But as far as what you're filing, I don't. I really. The stuff that you've put together, it seems like you've taken a lot of time with it, but you're also kind of contradicting yourself in your own pleadings when you cite the Michigan Court Rule 2.02b that allows me, and it says that I can take judicial notice. And particularly in that document, it says, when discretionary, a court shall take judicial notice without request by a party of one, the common law, constitutions and public statutes enforced in every state, territory, and jurisdiction of the United States, and two, private acts and resolutions of Congress of the United States and of the legislature of Michigan, and ordinance and regulations of governmental subdivisions of agencies of Michigan, and the laws of foreign countries. So at one point you're saying that these don't apply to you because of your sovereignship, but then you cite a court rule that's saying exactly the opposite. That I can take judicial notice because the judicial notice gives me power to say that they do have a jurisdiction over you.
Well, there is no subject matter jurisdiction, and also
since there's no jurisdiction, why are you in this Zoom call right now fighting your case like it's the season finale of Law and Order Delusional Unit? And it's just so funny how Judge Perkins casually pointed that out. You're literally using the legal system to argue that the legal system doesn't exist. That's like suing somebody to prove lawsuits aren't real. And I don't know about you guys, but if I believe the Constitution didn't apply to me, I wouldn't be quoting case law like I've got a JD from Facebook University. The funniest part is, if he even had one legal citation proving that court lacked jurisdiction, it would at least be a conversation. But no, we just get more rambling about admiralty law and the flag having fringe. I mean, these people always talk about rights, but forget that showing up to court means you're acknowledging some kind of system. Otherwise, wouldn't you be out building your off-grid bunker with crystals and a flip phone?
again, I'm gonna go back a little bit. Going to this home where the guy unlocked the door and said what he stated. Now I went there to actually go.
Now, I don't want you to listen.
car.
Let me stop you right now. I don't want you to state anything that may implicate you, right? Incriminate you. I don't want you to state anything because now is not the time to defend yourself against those charges. I'm just saying that I see that in your pleading. Wait a minute. Just let me listen. I see that in your pleading, and on its face, then I probably would agree with that. You know, if you go into if somebody invites you to a home and it's fully furnished, it doesn't look like it's it looks like they own it and live there. I don't know. On its face, that sounds like a good argument in your behalf. I don't know what the police are going to say. I don't know whether they have the ability to say that this property was not theirs, the person that you claim it was. But for the most part, I thought the argument would be a pretty good argument. But all this other stuff that you filed, I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I have no clue.
Well, you need me to elaborate? Exhibit 1.
I mean, well, like I say,
Exhibit 1 is an authenticated birth certificate. Exhibit 1 is an authenticated birth certificate. That's actually expatriation. Exhibit 2.
What is that? Say that again.
Expatriate.
Expatriate. What? And give me your understanding of what that means.
Well, in other words, I own what you would be going after, which is my estate. I am the beneficiary.
Let's go to that. Let's go to that portion. I read that portion, right? And you filed a document with the county with the Wayne County Register of Deeds, and in this document it says estate conveyance deed, and this goes back to October 14th, I guess, of 2014. It looks like, or 2019, wherever that is, and it says that by first party grantor Reginald Ray Linton estate, a foreign estate whose original address is 814 Jefferson Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee, to second party grantee Reginald Linton L., a indigenous man, secured party whose mailing address is a mailing address I'm going to say on the record. And then it kind of goes through what you're conveying, and it gave some consideration. Well, first of all, I'm looking at it like this. All right, are you saying that I'm conveying my estate of 814 Jefferson Avenue? Or because when I look at this conveyance of a deed, that means you're conveying some property to somebody. And then if you're looking at it, if I take what I believe you're trying to say, is you're trying to say I conveyed Reginald Linton estate to Reginald Linton L.
Correct.
But when you say that, then we're just saying, hey, Reginald Linton L can't go in the house without permission and can't have crack cocaine on him.
And I can go around and around and give it to you like it is.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. 1 ounce of reality hits, and this dude suddenly short circuits like a dollar store drone in a thunderstorm. He claims he could argue all day, but it doesn't matter if every point he makes is built on a foundation of unicorn dust and conspiracy TikToks. The judge just made a clean, solid argument, and all this guy can do is just blink and mumble like he forgot the script mid-performance. And I don't know what you guys think, But if you claim the power to kick people out of your own house for random reasons, then why can't the judge, or literally anybody else, boot you out for the same nonsense logic? That's the thing about sovereign citizens. They want all the power and none of the consequences. Like Karens who call the cops but suddenly forget how law works when they're the one in trouble. Honestly, if belief alone made laws vanish, half the internet would have already manifested their way out of student loans and parking tickets.
But I'm not gonna spend too much more time on it. I'll let you state your but because this hasn't been responded to by the city. Then let me just go through with some other stuff that I said. You got to document United States Department of State to all to whom this presents shall come. Greetings. I certify that the documents hereunto annexed is under the seal of the state of Tennessee, and that such seal is entitled to full faith and credit. Okay, I mean, are we talking about your birth certificate? That's full faith and credit. But you're not referencing any of these documents under the seal, so I don't know what you're talking about. Then you provide me. Did you? Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Then you provide me what I had to go look up that the world political asylum card and the world government of world citizens card. So I go to their website and I looked it up. And in the last paragraph of the world passport, it says, a passport gains credibility only by its acceptance by authorities other than the issuing agent. So that in of itself, for this passport to be authentic and people support it and recognize it, the other people beside the world passport people have to be able to say, I recognize that as an authority. And I don't know if the government of the United States recognizes this as any authority. As far as
I use it to get into the federal building to take care of certain issues. And as far as the document you were speaking in terms of the Department of License and Regulatory Affairs, there was a diligent search done on my name to show that there's no liability or no corporate entity that has been registered under me. And the other issue is with all what you have before you is because, well, yeah, courts are operating under federal debt collection procedure, and all officials, federal and state.
I don't know where you get that authority and where you say that. You haven't cited that in your brief at all, and I don't know that to be true. I know that the courts are operating.
I know it. You say the court is operating under the Constitution?
Yes.
So if you're operating under the Constitution, why is there an Admiralty statutory maritime flag behind you?
I didn't get that. What did you say now?
I say, if you're operating under the Constitution, why is there a statutory maritime flag behind you?
A statutory maritime flag.
Yeah, that flag that you have behind you is a flag that actually belongs out at sea. So that's Admiralty Maritime, and the alleged laws that you quote and preside over your Michigan citizens with are statutory and codes.
Right.
They're not common law.
Wait until this idiot finds out that the Constitution literally gives states the power to govern their people. Like, that's the whole point of the 10th Amendment, my guy. Even if he read that on some sketchy blog, I feel like he'd just call it a deep state psyop and go back to arguing with his microwave. These sovereign citizens really live in their own spin-off version of reality. And honestly, it's less freedom fighter and more legally confused mall Santa. Me personally, But once somebody breaks into a house, that whole I'm a free traveler on the land argument kind of falls apart, especially when you're caught in somebody else's land. I mean, it's kind of sad in a way too, because a lot of these people are probably just mentally unwell and getting their legal advice from YouTube comments and experienced Reddit threads. Here's a legal fact most of them miss. Once you're physically in a state, that state has jurisdiction over you. No magic words, no made up paperwork, no type of I don't consent nonsense changes that. Like, bro, this isn't a video game. You can't just glitch your way out of a breaking and entering charge by yelling, I'm a private citizen.
They don't have to be common law. They've been codified. If you read the whole Constitution, the 14th Amendment gives the states the power to codify their laws. All right, so Mr. Linton L, today is only the date and time for arraignment in the matter. So
right. I want to, if you don't mind, I want to
leave here
again.
Leave. I don't want to see you with no clothes on, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Exhibit 5 is a certified document from the Library of Congress, where there was an act to provide for a government for the District of Columbia, and which happens to be a municipal corporation, which happens to be where you are, a municipal corporation. Now, the document that you stated about the United States of America, United States is given full faith and credit and so forth, is where a legal search was done by my name. And see, I'm not my name. My name was given to me to distinguish me from you and so forth. So if you go and look at, I think it was Exhibit 5 with my identification on it, states that Memphis, Tennessee Republic. It says nothing about a District of Columbia or private or municipal corporation. I wasn't born in a corporation. So there's the subject matter jurisdiction. And here's the proof that I'm not a ens legis, if you know what that is off the top of your head. You might have to go research that too. That's a creature of the law. See, legally, you guys can do what you do, but how much lawful it is, as you state that you operate under the Constitution. Well, if you go back and look at my signature on my identification, UCC 1-308, not to be compelled to perform under any unbilled contract that I haven't entered into without knowledge and knowing of all said contract. And I don't have a contract with you guys or the state of Michigan. And well, again, you said there's a corpus delicti. Where's the corpus delicti? Because you can't injure a corporation state. You can't injure, and I got your Duns and Bradstreet number for where you
Yes, you can. Listen. Yes, you can. Listen, let me just say this. I know you're not going to believe what I'm saying because you have formulated your own belief, but you can criminalize a company and a corporation criminally responsible. You can do that.
Okay.
You can hold a corporation criminally responsible, and you can hold the officers of that corporation criminally responsible.
Okay, so here's the thing.
In one ear and out the other. I don't know what you guys think, but I think this dude is a lost cause. And not only that, but Judge Perkins honestly deserves hazard pay at this point. Like, yeah, it's entertaining for us watching, but imagine being a clerk just trying to get through your Tuesday while this guy rants about maritime law and strawman identities. I mean, me personally, I'd be putting in PTO the second I saw a sovereign citizen on the docket. And honestly, I think Zoom court setup is just making it worse. I mean, these people get way too bold when they're hiding behind a webcam and a Wi-Fi signal. It's like giving a toddler a megaphone and acting shocked when they scream nonsense into it. Remote court doesn't make your argument more valid. It just means you're wasting state resources from the comfort of your kitchen table. I mean, at this point, Judge Perkins might as well just hit the end meeting for all button and send this guy back to his YouTube guru for emotional support.
That officer, which is not an officer of the court, issuing out contracts for me to engage with your municipality, and him issuing a contract He don't have a right to issue no contract to me for me to engage with you. And then, as a matter of fact, that's why I quoted in here in the affidavit. That's why I quoted in the affidavit on page number 4. It states, "Who may serve generally process in civil actions may be served by any legal competent adult who is not a party or an officer of a corporate party." He's an officer of a corporate party. You operate corporately, and where you work is corporate, and he's a private mercenary. I have several Supreme Court cases where it states that police officer has no constitutional duty to even protect anybody. So he has no constitutional duty to protect. He don't have a right to harass either. Now, the other thing about some cocaine, he didn't have a warrant to search me or my truck. He just pulled me over and assumed what he assumed.
Now, listen, now you're talking language that I understand. Now, none of that was in your brief. The only thing that was in your
actually it is there, because it's in there. It's in there. The terminology that I use wouldn't be what you would use, where it states I didn't harm anybody. That in your legalese terms would replace
we got to be speaking the same language in order to talk.
I understand what you're saying. I understand very well what you're saying.
And I gotta speak the language of the written law and how it's written, and the way you write it. I mean, I can't go into your mind.
You say right. Well, you say law, and I see something legal, which is nothing more than statutory or code. And to me, those are actually that's private law.
So why did you cite the Michigan court rule in your brief? Right in your brief. Well, why did you tell me? That was cited. Why did you tell me? Why did you tell me?
That was cited because if you go in the beginning of where it states that I'm appearing specially, not not generally, but specially.
I don't know what that means.
Well, I see you only been there since 2021, and from that point to this point, I don't know how long that is, and I don't know, because
under a year.
They don't tell everybody everything.
Really? It's almost like they didn't tell everybody everything because he's a judge. You know, the guy who actually judges things. And you're just a sovereign citizen who treats Facebook memes like peer-reviewed law journals. I mean, that's exactly why he knows more than you, little buddy. I mean, personally, I think Judge Perkins handled this one really well. He stayed pretty calm for the most part and sharp throughout this whole thing. He also did let this guy talk just enough to dig his own legal grave without getting dragged into the nonsense. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Did Judge Perkins go too easy, or was this the perfect amount of rope? I've seen some people in the comments say he's a soft judge just because he gives some folks time to speak. I mean, I kind of respect it. I mean, it exposes the full clown act in 4K, but also I can see the other side to it as well. But yeah, if you guys were wondering how this one ended, it actually got dismissed. I mean, there's no record of an arrest or any follow-up after this hearing, which is kind of insane considering how off the rails it went. I mean, that's Detroit for you though. Most of these cases actually do end up getting dismissed, which is kind of sad. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys thought about this case in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.